Hi, I'm Mathew Jentzsch with IFA, the author of Container Gardening in 3D, and I would like to introduce you to a new concept in container gardening today, and the reasons why I do it and why it's so much easier than gardening in a great big garden, and actually how beneficial it is for people who can't or don't have the space for a garden and only live in a condo or an apartment or a very small space. You can do this down your driveway. The very first thing we have to do when we start container gardening so early in the spring is we have to make sure that we thaw out our soil. So the soil I had to take into the house unthawed, but I put it in my container and I only put it in like 1/3. And I'm going to add some slow release nitrogen into here, but not very much because it's going to be hard to get all the nitrogen in there. And later on, as the plants get bigger, I want them to be able to reach down in there and to find nutrients down at the bottom of this pot. A lot of people put styrofoam or other things in the bottom of these things. I don't like to do that because roots go deeper than you think. They are going to go all the way down the bottom of this pot by the end of the season, and I want them to have as much potential resources for nutrients and water as I can in August. To start out with, I'm going to take something like this Garden Cote 6, which was made by ferti-lome. It's a coated product. The nice thing about this is it's good for 6 months, slowly co-release. And the thing I like about this is every prill in here is coated, which means every micronutrient and macronutrient is going to be released over a period of time, not all at once. And nitrogen likes to travel down through the pot, so I'm going to put a little bit in the bottom, just sprinkle it some down in there, about like so. And then you just mix it in. Now I'm going to add more soil up to near the top of the pot. I don't want to pack it down, I just want to make it nice and even about to the level. Shake it a little bit. And that's good. I'm going to add some more of this in there because I didn't get it in the top that I just added just in the bottom. So I just sprinkled this roughly about so much. You're probably going to use about 2/3 of a 1 pound container in a 21-inch pot because it's almost about 2 cubic foot of soil, so that's about right. Once I sprinkle that in there like that, I just take my hands. This is the fun part. You just start mixing it kind of like you would bread. Kind of knead that in there nice and evenly. Smooth it around. Again, you want to be about 1 inch from the top. You never want to pack it. You just kind of shake your container so it settles by itself. Don't ever push down and pack the soil. Leave it nice and loose. The next thing I do is I put a pencil up here so I kind of know where I start, and I make a cross. So this is going to tell me where I plant my warm season plants later. Warm season plants and cool season plants, you need to know the difference because warm season plants are going to freeze and be very susceptible to frost, whereas cool season plants, you can plant them right now and the frost won't hurt them. So I'm going to take 4 plastic cups and I'm going to put them at the end of my cross. Just like that. I put them upside down to make sure that they do not collect water, because then you're going to have a nesting ground for like mosquitoes. So I just put them at the end of the cross, and those are going to be my base savers or plants where when it gets warmer and I plant my warm season plants, whether it be tomatoes or peppers or eggplants or cucumbers or anything else, they're going to go in those 4 spots. So those are place savers for those. Because we're starting these containers so early in the year, like either the end of January or the 1st of February, the only thing I can plant right now are cool season plants. Things are going to grow down in the ground and the frost won't bother. Even if it freezes from now on, it won't hurt these plants. And as the soil warms up, they'll begin to germinate as they're able to, just because if we get the soil temperature above 40 degrees or so, they're going to start. So I start with things like radishes and carrots. And I start by making a little trench around the edge of the pot, and I decide what I want to put around the edge. Now I can plant this either this row out here, this first ring, all carrots or half carrots, half radishes. It just depends on how I want to harvest these later on. Line you want to be on, and these seeds are fairly big as well, so it's easy to see. You just put a couple in each hole.